for the Cincinnati Christian College coach, Nowalski, he simply said that he wants to see his team stay focused. Don't get overconfident. We have the lead right now. We need to continue to be patient. Guys?
Thank you very much, Anthony. 11:35 to go. Free throw good by Stumbo. 14-point game now as Kenny Gaynor checks back in. Tanner, he's been absent, but the Eagles haven't missed him.
Well, you know, they would always rather have him in there than not have him in there, but they just play so exceptionally well even when he's not in the basketball game. You know, a lot of teams that have such a good player like him, they struggle when they're on the bench. But, like, look at that. Just a pull-up three there by Moses. Everything going right for CCU right now.
Well, Trevor Combs and Austin Crisp all over their man defensively, man-to-man, and a shot like that will just take the wind out of your sails defensively as a basketball team. Lead now out to 17. It's biggest of the night for CCU. Shot clock down to under 10. Stumbo, top of the key to Crisp. Spin move in the paint. Up on Gaynor, blocked. Shot tapped up, controlled by Burton. And a technical foul assessed to Alice Lloyd, head coach J.R. Hammond, who has not been very pleased at all for most of this second half with the foul calls, or for lack thereof, I guess you could say, for Alice Lloyd.
You see assistant Wes Smith there coming out to make sure that JR doesn't pick up another technical, but wheels starting to come off for Alice Lloyd here, Josh. Still plenty of time, nearly 11 minutes left in the game, but you cannot keep digging and digging a deeper hole and expect to come out of it easily against a high-quality team like Cincinnati Christian.
Hammond calls a 30-second timeout. I'm sure, as we mentioned, for most of that, to have some extra words with the official in a more calm manner. But nonetheless, one more technical free throw coming for Nick Siebert, who's a 74% foul shooter on the year. It's an 18-point game in favor of Cincinnati Christian. We are just less than 11 minutes to go, and you're right, Tanner. With the way Alice Lloyd can score the basketball, they're not out of it yet, but you don't want one thing to lead to another, and all of a sudden you're down 20, 25 points with less than 10 minutes to go, and at that point, it makes it really, really tough on yourself to come back, no matter where you are, even if you're playing at home.
Well, that's right, because even if you think of this in terms of just this last 10-minute segment, 10-minute, 45-second segment, even if you tell your guys, all right, let's win this segment, you have to win this segment by, what, 18, 19? You have to win by 19 points if you want to win the game. So if you're Alice Lloyd, just mentally, how do you overcome that barrier of knowing you need to outscore a great team like CCU by 19 points over these final 10 and a half minutes if you want to win the game?
Gaynor.
Make it more than that now.
Boy, what a shot for the big man over top of Mason Pack at the free throw line, the soft touch on the fall away. And that's just something you really can't defend. And Austin Crisp throws it away at the other end. Now a 20-point game in favor of Cincinnati Christian. And I don't want to say it with 10-20 to go, but it looks as though just on the faces of Alice Lloyd that they've been taken out of this ball game, and it seems like they don't really know where the answers are, where to look, or maybe what the answer is to really solve what's been going on tonight, but they've really been taken out of their game. Walsman fouled on the way up. We'll have two free throws coming.
Well, I agree with that assessment, Josh, but this is where if you're Alice Lloyd, even though things are not going how you envision right now, you have to keep your heads down, you have to stay disciplined, and you have to just power through this and hope that if you string together a couple of defensive stops and then get a couple of shots to go down, maybe that can provide you a little spark, and then all of a sudden some other good things start happening. But definitely the pendulum swinging far in the direction of the guys who wear purple right now.
Free throw good by Walsman. Second one also good. Cincinnati Christian now leads it by 22 at the midway point of this second half. CCU finished second in the Capital Division behind Alice Lloyd. Ryan House was shaken up in the first half. Good to see him back out on the court. On the baseline to Stumbo, works it around to Warren, has it stolen away by Moses. Behind the back dribble, will hand it off to the trailer, Siebert, who gets it to Burton. And just another costly turnover by Alice Lloyd, another empty possession. Just can't seem to punch back when CCU throws a haymaker. Moses thought about the three, but lost the ball on the way up. Nice dish off to Walsman off the glass and in. That's just too easy for CCU. Alice Lloyd getting lost defensively.
Well, and a lot of times in this game, CCU has hit contested buckets, and they're hitting enough of those for Alice Lloyd. You can't afford to give up any more of those, but you really can't afford to give up wide open looks.
Rogers can't get the shot on the block to fall. Rebound to Gaynor. And a foul called by Tyler Rogers, and that one was purely frustration as he missed a gimme, a contested gimme on the block, but nonetheless a shot he feels like he should have made. A tough night for the KIAC Player of the Year, Tyler Rogers, the senior from Lexington. Full timeout taken by Cincinnati Christian. 8:50 to go, second half. The visiting Eagles lead Alice Lloyd 59-35. We talked a little bit about head coach Kellen Zawadzki. It's his third season. He's already had 3 20-win seasons, Tanner. He was an All-American, All-Conference performer at Huntington University, where he scored 1,700 career points, and as I mentioned before, led Cincinnati Christian to the conference tournament championship in his very first year in 2014. So that program in good hands for the foreseeable future with Coach Zawadzki at the helm, and they're playing well. Like, they may make some noise at the national tournament should this result right now hold up going forward.
Well, Josh, give him and that CCU coaching staff a lot of credit. They have put together a really tough game plan. You can tell they learned a lot from the previous 2 meetings this season with Alice Lloyd. One a 3-point win, one a 3-point loss. And then, of course, you have to give Cincinnati Christian, the players, credit for executing it. They've knocked down their open shots. They've done a good job of creating off the dribble. And at times when their best player, big man Kenny Gaynor, has been on the bench, they really haven't missed a beat, and it's Gaynor at the line here.
Free throw up, free throw short, rebound to Rogers. 8:45 to go. If Alice Lloyd's going to do something, they're going to have to do it now, do it quickly, and get some stops defensively. Stumbo to Crisp. Immediately double teamed by Moses and Walsman. Back out. That zone for CCU has caused all sorts of problems. Hall off the glass and in. Wanted to dunk it, you could tell, but he got the shot off the glass, and the foul counted for the Floyd County native, but played his high school basketball at Johnson Central, where he was a Mr. Basketball candidate, as we mentioned.
You had to get that Floyd County native in there, right?
His dad, Brad, played for the McDowell Daredevils back in his playing days.
Well, you're allowed to have some pride in your home county, my friend.
Free throw no good, but offensive board pulled down by Dondre Warren. Warren drives in, takes it to the rack, off the glass and in. That's a 4-point trip for Alice Lloyd. And off the back, off the leg of Kari Burton. Turnover, CCU will give it to Alice Lloyd. Down by 20 with 8:11 to play.
And that's just what's tough, Josh, is the crowd starting to come back alive again, but you look up on the scoreboard, still a 20-point spread. If it was a 10 or even 15-point spread, you'd feel a lot better about Alice Lloyd's chances of getting back into it, but you just wonder if it's too late in this game for the Eagles to mount a comeback.
Warren to Stumbo, back to Warren, drives in, pull up 15-footer is good. Well, this crowd is trying everything it can to get these Eagles back in the ball game. McCommons in the front court to Moses, up over Rogers, no good. Rebound pulled down by Stumbo. Crisp fouled at midcourt by Jarrell Moses.
And listen to this crowd. We can barely hear ourselves in our headsets right now.
Now, Tanner, this is the same Alice Lloyd team that trailed last week in the first round against Rio Grande by 7 with 2 minutes to play and fought back to take the lead for good with 12 seconds left. So this is a team that's not new, that's familiar, I should say, with adversity within a basketball game, but this one would obviously top the cake. Down 18 with 7:37 left. Austin Crisp at the line for one in the bonus to try to cut into this deficit.
Really, really need these free throws here.
First one up and good. Crisp will have one more, kind of an unorthodox shooting style for the Flemingsburg native. Second one up, no good. Rebound, no, pulled down by Moses of CCU.
If you're Alice Lloyd, your mentality right now needs to be, we need to try to get this down to near a 10-point spread before the final media timeout. If you can do that, you have a chance.
Moses walked with it. Austin Crisp all over him, defensively forces the turnover. And Tanner, I know you're not a huge proponent of momentum, but you can kind of feel the energy in this building shifting a little more toward Alice Lloyd.
This is a different circumstance. This is the exception rather than the rule. Momentum definitely wearing blue and white right now.
Stumbo up top to Crisp. Gets a pick from Hall. To Stumbo, three straight away, short. Rebound to DJ McCommons. Boy, this student section beside us was just waiting to erupt had that gone in.
That was a good look for Stumbo.
Moses, reverse layup, short, missed it. Rebound to Stumbo. Here comes Alice Lloyd. Warren on Shelton on the baseline. Will reset it, picks up his dribble, long cross-court pass to Hall, down low, up off the glass and in.
He knew Shane Hall was going to be there. He'd go up with those long arms, that big body, and just pull it down and score. All of a sudden, it's a 15-point game.
6:20 to play here in the ball game. Warren right on McCommons man-to-man. Shot clock down to 13. Moses in the corner, shot clock at 6, drives. Shelton, baseline jumper, no good. Rebound to Moses, to Burton, three-pointer. Boy, that's a killer. That's what you do not want if you're Alice Lloyd. You get the missed shot, you get the shot clock winding down, and you get the offensive board and a kick out for three.
Well, that is the definition of a cold-blooded triple from Kari Burton. And again, just to bring the point back up, we talked about it in the first half, we'll talk about it again. The offensive rebound leading to a three-point opportunity. The defense not set, they're in full box-out mode. They don't have anyone at the top of the key to defend that three by Burton, and he just throws in a splash ball. And it's a shame, too, for Alice Lloyd because the Eagles played such good defense. You forced Cincinnati Christian into taking really not a high percentage shot, and you force them into a miss, but then you give up the offensive rebound to one of the smallest players on the floor, and Cincinnati Christian ends up hitting the three to extend the lead back out to 18 points.
Rogers, Warren, Hall, Stumbo, and Crisp break the Alice Lloyd huddle. It will be ALC basketball out of this timeout. Walsman, Moses, Shelton, Burton, and McCommons for CCU. 18-point game in favor of the visiting Eagles with just less than 6 minutes to play. Can Alice Lloyd continue its magical season here in 2016? Stumbo, three ball is good. Walsman in the front court, picks up his dribble, gets it off to Burton, now to McCommons. McCommons guarded by Crisp. Left side it goes to Walsman. Man-to-man for Alice Lloyd. Walsman on Hall, puts it up. Blocked by Hall, but they're going to call a defensive foul on Alice Lloyd. And that will send Blake Walsman to the line for 2. I guess if there is a positive to that, Tanner, it is that the clock is stopped. And that will bring us to a media timeout. 5:17 to play. Cincinnati Christian 62, Alice Lloyd 47. The men's KIAC Tournament Championship in Pippa Passes, our Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week on this TV.
Famous for spring. Lee's, famous for chicken. Bounce into spring at Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken with a 12-piece box of our mixed chicken for only $14.99. Make any kind of weather feel like picnic weather with 12 pieces of our honey-dipped, hand-breaded, and pressure-cooked Famous Recipe Chicken for the perfect family meal. This spring, we're making it easy to warm up to value. Get a jump on spring with a 12-piece box of our Famous Recipe Chicken for only $14.99. Only at Lee's, famous for chicken.
In 1923, People's Bank and Trust began a great run as a hometown bank that's going strong today, leading our community through stability, found only in local ownership, with state-of-the-art banking services, 7 locations, and ATMs where you need them. People's has and will continue doing things the right way. That's more than good business. That's what makes a great bank. People's Bank and Trust of Hazard, member FDIC.
This is a special health alert for seniors suffering with joint pain. If you have Medicare insurance, you may qualify for high-quality support braces at little or no cost.
I'm thrilled with my knee braces.
Now, there is a simple and proven solution for seniors to get out of pain with state-of-the-art support braces.
I barely feel any pain at all.
Braces for your knees and back, as well as your shoulders and ankles, too.
I'm so happy with the quality of these braces.
Call now, and you could qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost.
I can play ball again, and it doesn't hurt.
And because of my Medicare coverage, it costs me next to nothing.
So call now.
And because I have this red, white, and blue Medicare card, my braces have cost me just about nothing.
It's true. You may get a knee, back, shoulder, and ankle brace at little or no cost.
They qualified me for 2 knee braces and a back brace.
If you have knee or back pain, give them a call. They can help.
1-800-678-0419, 678-0419.
First free throw for Blake Walsman out of the timeout is good. Puts the lead back out to 16, 63-47, 5:17 to play. Second one, missed it. Rebound to Shane Hall. So Tanner, it's not over. Alice Lloyd has shown they can hit some buckets, but they've got to get some stops as well.
After this possession, we'll get a sideline report from Anthony.
Boy, what
a big time.
That was a fantastic no-look pass by Dondre Warren to Shane Hall. And we'll check in with Anthony. Anthony, what do you got?
Follow that up.
Watching that last media timeout, Coach Zadalski was not happy at all with how his defense has been playing here in the last few minutes. He says we're getting lazy, we're not being focused, and then we're doing the same thing on offense. We're taking stupid shots and shots we don't even force during the whole game. And then on the other end for Coach Hammond, he's saying continue to be patient, continue to chip away at this lead, and continue to crash the boards and be aggressive at the rim. If the three-point shot's there, take it. Guys?
Thank you very much, Anthony.
Well, you got it down to 14. I mean, this is doable. You know, we said if you're Alice Lloyd, your mentality needed to be getting it down close to 10 at the final media timeout. Coming out of that media timeout, you get the big dunk down to 14. Again, the odds still not in your favor by any means, but at the same time, you put yourself in a position to where if you get a couple breaks these final 5 minutes and change, string together some stops, which you haven't been able to do, and hope Cincinnati Christian continues its sloppy play as of late. You could still come back to win this thing if you're Alice Lloyd.
As we saw in the first half, Cincinnati Christian is prone to having a couple of possessions in a row, a couple of string possessions where they just don't play very well. Poor execution, some errant passes, and we'll see what ALC does out of the timeout. McCommons, front court pass to Shelton. Slows it up, picks up his dribble, hounded by Stumbo, and nearly loses it, but McCommons lays it up and in. Those are the kind of breaks that have been going Cincinnati Christian's way all night long. Great defense from Alice Lloyd results, though, in a layup by DJ McCommons. Tip pass will go out of bounds, but will stay with Alice Lloyd.
Been one of those nights for Alice Lloyd. But again, you have to credit Cincinnati Christian.
Oh, without question.
We have talked about their superb game plan and how they have played with Kenny Gaynor on the bench. He's not out there now.
Anytime Alice Lloyd gets the fans into it, hits a big shot, CCU answers. Stumbo drives in from straightaway up, and he will draw the foul. Hits the deck hard, does Stumbo. We'll have 2 free throws, though. An 80% shooter right near the top of the KIAC for the season.
So that's who you want at the line. Try to whittle into this lead a little more. And you look at the spread on the scoreboard right now, Josh. Think back to that first half. A few of those costly turnovers that Alice Lloyd committed. A few of those possessions where maybe they took too quick of a shot. Didn't get the ball in the hands of the player they were hoping to. You know, those add up, and you don't really think about them until you're in a position where you're running out of time, like the Eagles are here.
Stumbo makes 1 of 2, and a foul on the rebound called by Cincinnati Christian.
Yeah, a good box out by Warren, and I believe they put that foul on Blake Walsman.
That's his 4th. I thought maybe they were going to get the foul on Warren by his initial reaction, but I saw a couple of fans across the way rise to their feet, so Alice Lloyd will, from here on out, Tanner, shoot the double bonus. The next foul called. Warren at the line for 1 in the bonus. Misses the first one.
They have not shot free throws well in this game.
Burton. Pass tipped and stolen away by Rogers. They could cut it to as close as they've been the entire second half. Stumbo, 3, straight away, short. Nobody down low to rebound. If you're going to take a shot like that, you at least want to make sure you've got some teammates down low just in case you miss it like he did. But CCU comes away with it. Deficit still at 15. Burton deep on the right corner. Shot clock down to 12. Down to 8. Burton gets a double pick. Right wing, guarded by Chris. Drives in, floater, off the glass and in.
Man, he's tough. That's a big-time move, too. Just weaving through traffic, knowing right where to kiss it off the glass. And that's just so tough to defend.
Warren, free throw line to Rogers. Drives in on Shelton, turns, puts it up, no good. Rebound, though, by Stumbo, lays it up and in. Timeout taken by Alice Lloyd and head coach J.R. Hammond. It will be a full timeout. 3:32 to play, 67-52. And Tanner, for the most part, the last couple of minutes, Alice Lloyd has done what we've talked about them needing to do. It's just when they hit a shot and right when you think they're on the brink of maybe doing something and cutting into it, a big shot is made by Cincinnati Christian, more often than not by Kari Burton or Nick Siebert.
As you get a look at the fans that have made their way down from Cincinnati Christian. I agree, Josh, and harken back to the last couple of possessions before that layup by Stumbo. The Stumbo missed 3 on what was a deep look. Nothing's causing that young man to avoid celebrating tonight. But you combine that with the missed free throws, and that is really what unbalances the equation, so to speak, for Alice Lloyd. Just those easy opportunities they haven't been able to cash in on. Cincinnati Christian, 3 minutes and some change away from winning the KIAC tournament here in the final year for the tournament.
It'd be the second in 3 seasons for the Eagles. Full court pressure being applied by Alice Lloyd. Burton in the front court. Met there by Combs. Left side now to McCommons. Trying to maybe milk some clock here down the stretch. We're approaching the 3-minute mark. Cincinnati Christian by 15. Burton in the lane to a slashing Siebert. Missed it short, but again an offensive rebound by CCU.
Fresh shot clock, though. They're going to get the ball in bounds, but that hit the rim, so they'll be able to run some more time off the clock here. Man, Alice Lloyd, again, fails to grab the rebound.
You know, looking at the stats, preparing for this game, and I'm sure you've noticed the same things. These two teams are so similar in just about every facet of the way they play, how the statistics have added up all season. And tonight it's been rebounding. Rebounding has been crucial, especially at the offensive end for Cincinnati Christian. Alice Lloyd just not able to limit their opportunities as a fresh shot clock, as you mentioned, for CCU. And a foul committed by Austin Crisp on Corey Burton will send Burton to the line for
double bonus.
Double bonus.
Now, I like the decision to go ahead and start fouling, Josh. Start extending the game as early as you can, even though you're putting the other team at the free throw line. If you're Alice Lloyd in this case, I guess they would say that was foul number 9, so the scoreboard was incorrect. But you have to go ahead and start extending the game as soon as you can to give yourself more opportunities.
You hope maybe along the way that they miss a free throw or two, as he does there, and you've got to convert at the other end, though. Crisp straight to the rack will draw the foul, and that will allow Crisp to go to the line for 2 with the clock stopped. Lead at 16.
The clock arrested, as our friend Jim Frazier would say.
Texted me earlier, said he was tuning us in tonight, so we appreciate him, as well as everyone who has tuned into this TV for this KIAC Tournament Championship, as Austin Crisp makes the first one. And J.R. Hammond's got a kind of an odd thing when his team shoots free throws, especially down the stretch like this. He drops to one knee and just faces the opposite direction. He will not watch the free throw.
You see him across there on the bench. Kind of a superstition thing. Of course, he always stays in the locker room a long time before the game and doesn't come out until very close to tip-off.
As he will send in Trevor Combs for Shane Hall, an offensive and defensive substitution. Corey Burton in the corner in backcourt. Throws it in bounds, will be saved by Siebert. 2-on-1. Walsman hacked by Tyler Rogers, and they're going to call an intentional foul. At least one of the officials ran in quickly and signaled an intentional foul. And now the 2, and they're going to bring in the 3rd to discuss it.
We'll see what the call is. I think there's enough evidence to go either way here.
The foul is on Tyler Rogers. It is an intentional foul.
Tough break.
An outstanding season and career for Rogers, as we mentioned, from Lexington, and could quite possibly be playing in his final game at Alice Lloyd tonight. But free throw good by Blake Walsman. Lead back out to 15.
What a great career it's been for him, and a great season. KIAC Player of the Year for Rogers. And now Cincinnati Christian going to get the ball back. We'll have the chance to run some more time off the clock. All back in for Alice Lloyd. Combs takes a seat.
McCommons into Gaynor. We'll hand it back off to McCommons, guarded by Stumbo. 2:45 to play in this one. McCommons down low to Gaynor. Kicks it back out to McCommons, working the clock. Shot clock down to 15. McCommons drives in the corner to Siebert. Back out to Burton. Shot clock down to 7. Burton around the defense. Down low. Off to Siebert in the paint. Won't go. Rebound, though, by Walsman. No good. Rebound by Warren. Rogers hits the deck. It's 4-on-5. Crisp on the left side on the block. Picks up his dribble and has it taken away by Corey Burton. And a timeout taken by Burton and Cincinnati Christian with 2:02 to play. 69-54, and that sequence may have just about done it, or at least taking the wind out of the sails almost completely for Alice Lloyd, who trails by 15 with 2 minutes left.
Well, remember, Burton was the one who hit the big three, 5 or 6 minutes ago when Alice Lloyd made its run to kind of quiet them and put some more distance between Cincinnati Christian and Alice Lloyd. And so he makes that big play, and then he comes back with the big steal there.
Cincinnati Christian has been able to make the plays. Alice Lloyd has not, and for the most part, Tanner, all game long, Alice Lloyd just hasn't been able to catch those breaks that, quite frankly, in a game like this, you need to get every once in a while, but they've not been able to really get any of them. And that's a lot, but as you said, that's a lot to the credit of the play of Cincinnati Christian. Defensively, offensively, they've been very crisp for the most part. Defensively, their 2-3 zone has really, really frustrated the offense of Alice Lloyd, and they've made the Eagles play a lot further from the basket than they've been accustomed to, than they want to, and it's really taken guys like Rogers and Stumbo and Shane Hall out of their comfort zone and out of the game. They've really not been that much of a factor as the Eagles trail by 15 with 2:02 to play. McCommons gets it into Walsman for Siebert, and stolen away by Warren to Combs, a three, good.
Got to get another one of those steals or foul quick here.
The 12-point deficit is as close as Alice Lloyd has been since early second half, and a 5-second call.
Another turnover for Cincinnati Christian.
A 5-second call on CCU as Gaynor goes to the bench, and in comes Drew Shelton. Tanner, they could cut it to single digits on this possession. It's not been single digits since halftime. Combs another one. Are you kidding me?
That's Punkin's grandson.
Trevor Combs pulls Alice Lloyd to within 9 with 1:40 to play. 69-60, the former Perry Central Commodore. CCU in backcourt. McCommons, bunt by Crisp, and a foul called on Austin Crisp.
Well, Alice Lloyd may not win this game, but they've certainly made it a memorable comeback. Back-to-back threes there off the steals from the press from Combs.
Kind of ironic, J.R. Hammond's been subbing Combs out when the Eagles have the basketball on offense, and here he's hit back-to-back three-pointers. DJ McCommons at the line, makes the first one.
He's a 75% shooter. So here over the final 95 seconds, that's not who you want to foul if you're Alice Lloyd.
Misses the second, rebound to Warren.
Now the old reverse broadcaster's jinx still in effect.
Warren to Combs, a deep three for Combs. Are you kidding me? Trevor Combs. It's a 7-point ball game with 1:20 to play.
It's Trevor time here late.
Burton down low to Walsman, and blocked by Stumbo, but they're going to call a foul on Cody Stumbo. The Allen Central fans across the way were saying the ball hit the sideline out of bounds on the pass. But nonetheless, Cody Stumbo will send Blake Walsman to the line for two. Man, Trevor Combs.
Well, he's just cemented his status as legend here in Pippa passes.
Blake Walsman will have two shots. First one is up and good, nothing but net. 77% on the season for CCU's number 10. Lead back out to 8, 1:15 to play, and all of a sudden, this game is far from over. Makes them both. It's a 9-point lead. Crisp in the front court quickly. To the Rogers in the corner. Leaned in for the, tried to draw the foul, couldn't get it. Rebound comes down to McCommons. That's not the shot you want at all if you're Alice Lloyd. And they're going to call a foul on the loose ball on Combs in front court. That will send Kari Burton to the line. I know Rogers had the idea of drawing a foul, but that's not the shot you want.
Well, I'm surprised they didn't look to get it to Combs. He just hit 3 triples in a row. I know he was blanketed, but you got to do something to try to get the ball to the hot hand.
Burton's first one is good. Back out to a double-digit lead with 1 minute to play.
What was the largest lead for Cincinnati Christian? 24 points, I believe. And
I believe 24, yeah.
Alice Lloyd got it down to 7. Now
Burton
back up
makes
to
them
11.
both.
Yep.
60 seconds to play. Alice Lloyd down 11. Crisp in the front court. And will draw the foul on Kari Burton. And Crisp will go to the line for 2 with the clock stopped.
Well, they put some good shooters out at Perry Central, don't they? This year's team, one of the better shooting high school teams, top 10 in the state. And you have the former Commodore Trevor Combs. Big three-pointers here tonight.
Coach J.R. Hammond having some more words with the officials, still harping on that no foul call on Tyler Rogers' 3 attempt a couple of moments ago.
Well, if there's going to be another technical on JR, he's gone, because remember, he picked up that technical earlier in the game, and the players and assistants stepping in now to create some space between he and the referee. How about the job that JR's done here at Alice Lloyd in his 7th season, taking them to new heights for the program.
He secured his first winning season as head coach here in Alice Lloyd. He's got the team to a division championship, a near automatic berth to the national tournament with the regular season championship, finished just short, and has got the Eagles here in the championship game of the KIAC tournament. Crisp, first one up, short.
I don't have a stat sheet in front of me, but I would venture to guess Alice Lloyd has left 10 to 12 points at the free throw line tonight. And how big would that be right now?
As a team, they only shoot 67% for the year. Second one good for Crisp. It's a 10-point game. Got to get a stop if you're Alice Lloyd.
And a lot of help.
McCommons gets it into Burton and nearly has it taken away. McCommons to Walsman, lays it up and in.
The old snowbird.
Lead out to 12. Here's Crisp to Combs. Combs double team, puts up a 3. He got that one to go. Are you kidding me? Cuts the lead back down to 9. It's 76-67. 41.8 seconds to play. Trevor Combs not wanting this season to end.
So they rule that a 2-pointer. So 3 straight threes and then that long 2 for Trevor Combs. They'll be talking about this performance late in this game here on Purpose Road for a long, long time.
Alice Lloyd, the last couple of minutes, has been so close at getting that much-needed steal defensively, just has not been able to get it. And it's resulted in an easy bucket for CCU at the offensive end on the fast break. But you wonder if it's just maybe a little too late for those kind of breaks to start going Alice Lloyd's way. Down by 9 with 40 seconds left in the ball game.
We've seen just a renewed sense of aggression out of Alice Lloyd over these final 3 to 4 minutes, and you have to wonder if that had come much earlier.